It is one of the final steps in childbirth, cutting the umbilical cord. But did you know doctors are keeping part of it to test for drugs? Lead investigative reporter Angelica Robinson has more in this 15 Finds Out special report. Angelica.
Tara, it's relatively new to Fort Wayne, but the technology is something that's been used at various hospitals across the country for years. Doctors say it's a more effective way to test for exposure to drugs in the womb and to get mothers and babies help if they need it.
It's a baby's lifeline. The umbilical cord carries nutrients from a mother to a growing baby. And while some things are good for your baby, others can be harmful. That's especially the case for expecting moms who use drugs and alcohol. Dr. James Cameron is a neonatologist for Lutheran Health Network.
Though we're seeing an increase in the number of people that are overdosing on opiates and that are testing positive for opiates, we're not really seeing a huge increase in the number of infants that are testing positive.
We had no protocol, and Dr. Cameron actually came to me and said he was just concerned that maybe there were babies that were being missed.
Allen County Health Commissioner Dr. Deb McMahon says anywhere from 10 to 30% of babies are born to mothers who abuse prescriptions or use street drugs. Dr. Tony Giaquinta is a Parkview pediatrician.
This is a diagnosis that is higher than pretty much any other infection that we screen for in moms, like syphilis or HIV. This is way higher than that.
He says over the last several decades, doctors have used newborns' feces, hair follicles, even fingernails to test for drugs. But none of those methods have proven to be as effective as a piece of the baby's umbilical cord. The cord can detect drug and alcohol use through the last trimester of pregnancy. Results come back in 1 or 2 days, allowing doctors to identify at-risk babies faster.
With the umbilical cord, we know that it's going to be there for every baby, every time, at the delivery.
Umbilical cord testing has been discussed on a state level for the last 3 years or so, Cameron says. Lutheran Health Network got on board about 2 years ago. Parkview within the last year.
We've implemented in Northeast Indiana the first ever screening pathway for these moms and babies once they come in at risk for substance use disorder, so that every baby is screened appropriately and consistently, and then is also plugged into a developmental follow-up pathway.
Not every umbilical cord is sent for testing. Doctors test babies who exhibit withdrawal symptoms or mothers with a history of drug abuse. Even if the cord isn't sent for testing right away, Cameron says Lutheran keeps a piece of it for about 5 days.
But we want to have a specimen available for every baby at this point, so that if the baby goes home after its discharge and the pediatrician suspects that there might be some concern for withdrawal symptoms, they can call back to the hospital and say, you know what, we have some concerns that the baby's withdrawing. Can we go ahead and send that cord for testing?
Cameron says the tests can cost about $180 and are typically covered by health insurance. Doctors say it has helped identify a greater number of mothers and babies in need of treatment.
It really does the best testing, really, I think of any kind of testing, really, because it just does it all.
Policies on umbilical cord drug testing can vary at different hospitals, but we have learned doctors at Lutheran and Parkview don't need a mother's permission to do the testing. Tomorrow we'll introduce you to a mother who says she learned her baby was tested hours after she gave birth. Angelica Robinson, News Channel 15.
Angelica.